There's a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Good morning. This is Fred Mitchell, Chair of the Progressive Liberal Party, Minister for the Foreign Service, MP for Fox Hill, and today is Boxing Day, 26th of December, 2025. I hope that the Saxons win the Junkanoo Parade again. But more importantly, I thank all the Junkanooers for their community-minded engagement. Now that the Christmas rush is done, I think this is an appropriate time to talk about values. All my political life, I've tried to preach about values. Let me give you one example. A very rich man, multi-millionaire, treated me to lunch one day in Nassau. It was just the two of us at the restaurant. The bill for the lunch came back and the price was $250. He paid it, but he said to me that the lunch wasn't worth $250. And I thought it a curious comment because he was worth multi-hundreds of millions, but still had a sense of what the value of his money was. Voters and electors have value. They have a vote. That is a valuable thing. There are lessons to be learned about this in this country, and there are laws put in place by political leaders, our political leaders, to ensure, for example, there's a secret ballot. This was to stop the practice of bag of flour politics, as described by H.M. Taylor in the age of open voting, when you got 5 pounds of flour before you voted, then you declared for the candidate, and then he gave you another 5 pounds after you declared. So you actually concluded the end of the bargain. That has stopped. And there are prohibitions since then to stop importuning and solicitation by the use of money for votes and other inducements, laws against bribery as well. But you can put any law in place that you like. Nothing can protect against a voter or elector who chooses to devalue the vote, his vote or her vote, in exchange for what is being called in the vernacular these days being tingsy. When it gets to that, and someone is elected on the basis of elections for being tingsy, then there can be no complaint after the person who gets elected simply goes out and does whatever the heck he wants without any regard to the voter or in the general good or in the particular good. So one of the reasons I chose, for example, to go to the schools to distribute the general largesse for children is because it is a controlled environment where teachers are there, and the teachers can instill values like order, obedience, gratefulness, loyalty. The teachers can instill values of how to think of other persons and not just of yourself. That is the value and the ideal of Christmas, to think of others first, of the needy, to appreciate that we should not be so self-absorbed that everything is about me, me, me. That remains the old religion. It was good enough for Lila and Fred Sr., and it's good enough for me. Our children should learn that there's nothing in this life that's free. There is a benefit and there's a burden. The late Elwood Donaldson used to say, a fair exchange is no robbery. MPs have their roles, but citizens have their roles as well, and one of them is not to demean and devalue their vote. God bless you. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and across the country today. It's PLP. Always.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Honorable Minister Fred Mitchell, coming to you every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, bringing it to you, no holds barred, minute by minute. Until next time, do enjoy your day.
The Christmas story is one of a humble manger, a small family, a quiet town. Here at home, Mount Alvernia on Cat Island rises only 206 feet, yet it holds a sacred truth. God often speaks most clearly through simple things. A humble sanctuary was built here with nothing more than simple tools, determination, and faith. The Stations of the Cross help us reflect as we ascend. Every Bahamian family has walked their own path, sometimes through hardship and grief. This Christmas, I pray you remember that you do not walk alone. God is with us in the courage of caregivers, the kindness of teachers, the compassion of doctors and nurses, the generosity of our neighbors. And when we renew our faith, the love of Christ is our constant companion. Together, we are building a Bahamas where every child is valued and every family can look to tomorrow with hope.